I want to welcome Brian Bond, candidate for Dracut Board of Selectmen.
Well, John, I'd like to thank you and Ken for allowing me to come on the show. And I got to say, it is a great hit. I've been getting a lot of positive things about the show.
Very good.
Thank you.
I'm really glad to be here.
Very good. Well, Brian, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, what you do for a living, your background, and what have you.
Well, first off, I've been married for 20 years to a beautiful woman from Tewksbury. Her name is Mary. I've got 2 kids, a daughter Samantha and a son Brian. I'm a self-employed electrical contractor, and I basically, I focus my work outside of town to avoid conflicts of interest. That doesn't mean I don't do any work in town. You've always got the family and friends, and you take care of those. But basically, I work out of town.
Oh, very good. And you're a successful businessman. You've been a long-time electrician. And what about some of the educational background? Where'd you go to school?
I went to Dracut Public Schools, and then I went over to Greater Low Oak. I got my electrical training there. Got my journeyman's license, and then went off and got my master's.
Okay.
So
why don't you tell us a little bit about, I went over just a couple of things that you did in my intro. Why don't you tell the community a little bit more about what you do within the community, what boards you're on and what committees you serve on?
Well, first off, I started off coaching youth sports. I coached football, basketball, and baseball for about 8 years in the youth programs, and I coached a couple of years over at Greater Low Oak. Through those programs, I was involved with the baseball community and building the bathrooms over at Hovey Field. We seen a need there, and we grabbed a group of guys and we got together and we raised some funds and we built that bathroom. And I was a project manager there. I was also, as Ken, over at Veterans Park, great little facility there. I was a project manager building that concession stand and bathrooms.
But besides all that youth stuff that you've done, you've also been involved in the community on the planning board, shaping the different projects that come before that planning board, and also in CPC. You've done some great things on CPC.
Absolutely.
And I believe that you're one of the vocal proponents of Greenmont Ave and Bridge Street, that Richardson Farm becoming, hopefully, a nice facility for senior housing.
Absolutely. Well, yes, I am the vice chairman of the planning board. I'm the vice chairman of community preservation. I sit on the economic development with you, John. Mm-hmm. And as the vice chairman of the planning board, one project that people will be familiar with is that Walgreens project that was proposed up the intersection of Mammoth Road and Lakeview Ave. I voted in the end against that project because I just believed there was too much of an impact for that neighborhood. It was a huge building going in a small lot area. It was really going to destroy that area, and the traffic was going to be horrendous. The company was supposed to put in a new set of lights. With that new set of lights going in, it was not going to improve the intersection at all. So to me, there was a lose situation there, and so I fought that project.
Well, we know those lights, something has to be done with those lights, and it's probably going to be the town's responsibility to take care of that and do something about it in the future, because there is a lot of activity in that area. So certainly we would want to do something with that. But you're right. I think that you're not against economic development. You're not against Walgreens.
Absolutely not. I think Walgreens is a great company. I'd love to see them go somewhere else in town. And another recent project that we did approve was a CVS over on the corner of Broadway and Arlington Street.
Now, why did you vote for that one and not the other one?
Well, that one,
on it,
that one there, the neighbors were in favor of it. And it was the right location, the right business.
And it didn't impact the neighborhood as much as...
It absolutely did not, and we had neighbors actually speaking in favor of it. So, we definitely want business in town. We need to help the tax base, but it's got to be the right business in the right location. Right. It's just not any business anywhere.
Yeah.
Also, part of my community involvement, I am the vice chairman of the Community Preservation Committee. And on that committee, we've been involved with preserving a 27-acre farm over on Parker Road. And currently, right next door to it, we're preserving a 50-acre parcel, Sajar Farm. Another great opportunity for the town to preserve some open space.
That's great.
And I was also very much involved with the Caney Farm project. And moving that thing forward, we've brought that through 3 town meetings now. And at that facility, we're going to have 3 basketball courts, a tennis court, baseball field, some walking paths, a tot lot, It's going to be a great facility, bathrooms. That should be opened in June.
I got to tell you, that is occurring so fast. It's going up as fast as you drive by one day. All of a sudden, lights are up, walls are up.
It's shaping up to be a great.
It's really shaping up. What's the estimate of when it's going to be done?
It'll be ready in June, and believe it or not, they've been working on this for, I'm going to say 6 or 7 months now, and it didn't really seem like anything was going on because all the work takes place underground, getting the base, getting that all ready. But now as things start to grow, it's like a farmer when he's planting his crops. There's a lot of work ahead of time. Then he starts watering, and all of a sudden things start to grow.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a great asset for this side of town.
Well, everybody's asking, why does Brian Bond want to run for the Board of Selectmen? Why do you want to run, Brian?
Well, having grown up in Dracut and lived here all my life, and watching how things are going, I truly feel that the current board, a majority of the current board is really out of touch with the community, really out of touch with the folks. I think that they're very condescending, they're belittling. People will come in front of that board presenting something and they're giving them a hard time, and that really needs to change. Myself, I'm going to be a much more receptive person. I'm not going to have all the ideas, but I'm going to be open to people. I think we need to get more people involved. The town is going through some tough times, and I think I can help in that situation.
We talked a lot about some of the accomplishments that you've done in Dracut, and I know Veterans Memorial Park, I got to work with you on that, and you were amazing there. I mean, you would just go and get it done, and let's get it done, and you were calling people all the time. Is that one of your major accomplishments? I know Canny Park also was one of your major accomplishments, but do you feel like those are your major accomplishments?
Absolutely. I'm the type of guy, I love to get involved, I love to help. I'm not the person who's just going to give a little bit of lip service and say, let's do this or let's do that. I'm the guy who's going to dig in and make sure it gets done. And I'm going to make sure everybody pulls and everybody, we can work together as a community. We can do a lot of things.
Absolutely. Time is just about up. We have about a minute left. Brian, can you just talk to the voters of Dracut and tell them...
You're going to look straight ahead into that camera.
Okay, again, my name is Brian Bond. I'm a candidate for Dracut Selectmen. I'm asking for your consideration and your vote on this May 3rd. I think it's very important that everybody gets out and vote. I think the town of Dracut needs a change. And again, it's Brian Bond. And John and Ken, I do appreciate the opportunity to come on this show.
Well,
thank you.